Hey everybody, want to do a garden check-in. So hopefully right now pictures of what the garden looked like before are showing up. And so here's what we got now. So much more is appearing, but I want to go over everything. And we're also going to do the first harvest today. But so first, this potato just probably grew up from, yeah, is that cool, buddy? Probably just from all of the compost I used, probably just a potato got thrown in. So this was not meant to happen, but it did happen. And so we're just gonna see what grows from it. But we've got everything else growing up. The beans, an animal did come and eat like 3 of them. And so we put 3 more in, and that's these 3. While these were the ones that I planted in the beginning. My radishes are all doing super well. You can see those were the ones I was the most surprised about, just how quickly that they have grown. And I'm going to actually do some harvesting of some radishes and lettuce today. And in the future, probably a week or so, I will probably replant the radishes as well as the lettuce. So we're going to harvest some lettuce today because they're starting to get really tall and they'll start to taste bitter if we go too long. So since we don't have to pull up the soil and mess with the soil, we're just going to cut them. So I'm going to cut them as low as possible. And I'm only doing 2 today. So we got our lettuce, and then I'm just going through and looking at the radish that are the largest, like this one, and just pulling them out. So let's see. You can see like these ones, not much of a bulb has been created yet. I'm gonna pull this one so that the other 2 can continue growing. So I'm gonna do the same here. So that one can keep growing. And this one just looks like it's good enough. I'm only looking to get, oh, see these? How close they are? They will affect each other. So I'm just gonna get this one out of the way. Let's see. Oh, this one. And let's do one more. This guy. So put these with this. There's our harvest for the day. So it's not a ton, but I only planted this garden a few weeks ago, so feeling good about that. I have 2 other things though that I want to show. One, if you clip basil, then they will continue to spread and grow. So like I've got these 2 leaves here and here, so I'm going to snip right above it, and now these 2 are going to grow into their own bushes, I suppose. So that way we can just continue to keep harvesting. So they smell amazing. You can add that to the pile. And I also wanted to show, so the parsley's doing so much better. We've got this basil, and we've already cut them a few times, so they've already been growing. And then the flowers have been doing really well, and I'm happy with how I did this all. They all seem to have their own space and are growing, and as some things are leaving, other things are going to be filling their positions. I don't know if you guys will be able to see them, but there's little cute cucumbers that have already started growing. So if you hear the rumbling, it's the thunder. We've had tons of thunderstorms past few days. I don't know if it'll pick up on it, but it's pretty dang loud. But that's all that's happening, and that's why our little bear man is shaking. He's a big baby. Not a big thunder fan. But I want to show you guys. So Strawberries are super easy to transplant, and maybe this is the wrong video to show it, but I'm just gonna show real quick. You can literally just come in here and dig them up and replant them. And they all have these runners that you can just snip them off and plant them. But you can see they are almost like a weed, but and they transplant super easy. Spring and fall would be the best times to do them, but we've done a bunch over there and they've all grown. And then you literally would just go in, make sure the roots are under, and water them. And we did a bunch like that and they all did super well. So, but strawberries, so much smaller, but they taste so much better. So Sierra found one in here earlier. There it is. And this is actually the biggest one I've ever seen. So, and it looks amazing. She had one earlier, so I'm gonna have one now. Can't even compare. Oh my God.
I know, it's so good. There's a few others too.
Oh my God. Add that as a compost. It's still hitting. That is delicious. Super happy with how the garden is going. Can't believe I'm already harvesting from it. So I have done one other garden before this, and it was in a community garden, and I'd have to say that was a very annoying thing. I didn't have it set up on a timer, so I was going there every morning, driving, and it was all on the ground. So it was really difficult and just an annoying process. And so I have to say this experience with this gardening box has been so much better, as well as just learning about companion planting and putting things together. I think that in the future, if we end up living in a city again, or even if we don't, it would be fun to use the grow bags like we did with the potatoes. I suppose that's one other thing I should show you guys, because I did my potato video too. Doing even companion planting in something like the grow bags, but I have to say it's much nicer having things off the ground and not having to worry about literally weeding every single day. That was something I really struggled with, was just how many weeds were growing. And so here's all the different types of potatoes. We kind of went a little bit crazy with them, but they're all doing super well. We just, as soon as they started showing up, we started putting the straw on it just to cover up the actual potatoes. But we should have a really good potato harvest later in the year. So I will probably do another harvest video later as things like the beans come in, the potatoes, and even maybe as I'm replanting, talk about whether or not that worked. My mom planted radishes much earlier in the season and they did not do as well. They all went to seed and they didn't get very big. So you never know with gardening. Sometimes you have to just figure it out for yourself as you plant and go, to see that maybe some things you think you should plant them super early, but then they don't do as well. And so sometimes starting late is not actually a bad thing. So I'd say even now, if you're watching this video and you haven't started, you could still go to a nursery, even get just some tea plants or something, get some chamomile, basil, whatever else, get some herbs and start a little garden, lettuce. So, all right. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Check out my video where we planted the potatoes, as well as where I planted my garden, to just give you guys a better idea of everything. So thanks for watching.